What's up, everybody? It's your boy P. Welsh here, bringing to you UFC 311, Makhachev, Tsarukyan, and Dwalishvili and Nurmagomedov starting the fight off here in the or it's actually in California. We got Tariq Ulanbekov versus Clayton Carpenter, flyweight division. We got Ulanbekov 16-2 coming off a win versus Carpenter 8-0 coming off a win. Ulanbekov's last fight, I think, was canceled, and then this has been the rescheduled bout. Josh Van, he was canceled in June. Both of his fights got canceled then. And Clayton Carpenter coming off a win, performance of the night, and I really think has a chance to, challenge Ulanbekov, but there's no way I'm going to actually pick him to win because if anything, I think Ulanbekov will get the nod. Unless he gets finished and subbed himself, that's Carpenter's win condition. I think Ulanbekov will take this home on the card, or just through a good performance. A very solid fighter, coming into his prime, 4-1 in the UFC. Only lost to Tim Elliott, so somebody that I think is like Carpenter, like Tim Elliott, who can contest him and grapple him, can give him a lot of, just can escape if he makes a mistake, so I think there's a lot of similarities into the fight that can win Carpenter over Ulanbekov, but I just think coming off a couple rescheduled bouts, I don't know if there's. I like him as a prospect. I was picking him both times. I thought he would beat Van, so he's challenging himself. I think Carpenter's another big challenge. I don't even know if I mentioned him in the breakdown video. But 9-0 prospect coming off a win, but this is definitely his toughest challenge so far, and there's levels to the UFC, and this is why I think, I really do think that I think he has a chance, because, even on the Contender Series, he beat Edgar Chairez, so, he has at least fought, UFC caliber fighters, but I think Ulanbekov is a upper echelon, and there's levels to this, and I think Carpenter can eventually get there, and I just don't think his time is right now, but I think he could put on a great performance. I think it could go to split decision on the card and it be very close. I think the judges would lean Ulanbekov anyway. So that's where I think I'm definitely going Ulanbekov here, but I'm really excited to see what Carpenter can bring to the table. I think there's a few live dogs in this entire fight card. And I think we started off strong with Ulanbekov Carpenter. I think it will be pretty high level. I think it could go 3 rounds, and I think somebody can get the finish in the 3rd round as well. I think once somebody might make a mistake, it's going to be, these guys are expending so much energy. So I'll be excited to see this one start off. See if we get a submission finish. That'd be another way that I think if the fight does end, that would be it. But I kind of see it going to the card a little bit, just because I think when you get a guy that's going to bring the juice, and unless he's way overmatched, and I don't think he will. I don't think Carpenter will be. But I like Ulanbekov. I think his veteran performance, he can win a round early, maybe win a round late, squeak by with the dub. But I think it could be a big challenge too. If Carpenter throws some hands and does the damage, that's always a big factor in these mirror grappling matchups that kind of take place. If you can contest on the feet and then get into a good position where they're off balance because they're wobbled on their feet, that's the best way to take them down. So I'm going Ulanbekov, take him down, hold him down, go! Next, we're moving to the bantamweight division. My guy Ricky Turcios, 13-4 coming off a loss, versus Bernardo Sopa, 11-3 coming off a loss. A little bit of a metric advantage in the bantamweight for Ricky. Veteran Ricky Sopa making his 2nd UFC fight, and big favorite, and I'm not so sure I like it. I mean, I didn't really see him do too much in his first bout. He's rescheduled this Turcios bout. I don't know how healthy he was at the end of the year. They're trying to do this in November. It's got pushed back to the first week in January. I like Ricky Turcios here, man. I'm a personal fan, and I'm if that makes a sense, but I'm not also sold on Sopa being like a -300 favorite. I mean, he didn't really show me any. Vinicius Oliveira is a very solid prospect. I honestly think he's a top 20 bantamweight, pushing up into the top 15. Ricky, I don't really know what he has. He hasn't really shown too much lately, but I think he's a tough professional. I think his mentality, and how much is he training? He fought Rojas last June, and we're not surprised he got rolled through. He lost to Eamon Zahabi, who's not he's a ranked component. He beat Brady Heinstead. I think that he's beat some. That's where he gave his speech. So hopefully he's still grinding. That would be my biggest worry here. Picking Ricky Turcios is he's not in the best mental state and he hasn't been training as hard. That's nothing more than speculation on somebody that doesn't do too much research on my end. But Bernardo Sopa, I'm just not really sold on him being a minus 300 favorite. Is he going to sit there and strike at a disadvantage again? Like, what if he takes another injury, leg kicks? I think Ricky will put in a very class performance, and I think he'll get enough to get the dub. Probably unanimous decision, but I think this will be another one where Sopa just needs to go back to not the drawing board, but just keep on training. He's a young gun, 24. Like, that's why I could see him knocking Ricky out. Like, I kind of think of something like Esteban Rabovich versus Terrence McKinney. Maybe not that fast, but he does have, that is his striking. He has striking finishes. He has some submissions. I think he can do a lot of damage. Fighting on the card with never mind. That was going to be something I said wrong, but let's see what happens, man. This guy has got a lot to prove. He's kind of been all over the world trying to find a little bit of a home. What's his training and competition like? I know he's got a lot of talent. Man, I might be stupid picking Ricky Turcios here, but you guys can clown me afterwards. That's fine. I just not sold on Bernardo Sopa, and he'll have to prove that to me. I'll take Ricky with that's just a solid professional performance. Stand up on the feet, strike the leg kick, win some rounds, control the octagon, not get taken down. But that's another thing. Like, but is Sopa really going to take him down? Is that really what he's going to do? Takedown accuracy 75%, takedown defense 50%. So maybe we see the win condition go there for Sopa. He's really that's really what he's got to do is do the takedown. But I think Ricky's got to strike. I'm a little nervous about that, but because of the way Rojas took down Ricky fairly easily and finished him in the second round, there wasn't much of a resistance from what I remember. And I'm a fan of Ricky, so I'm hoping I'm just not getting my fandom here. Actually, let's do the old reversal. We're gonna reversal on Ricky here. I don't know if this is the first one of the year. We're gonna pick Sopa, and we're gonna ride with the favorite. He's just gonna take him down and hold him down. I'm not rooting for Ricky as a personal fan. Let him cash the L on my record, okay? We're gonna flip it over and go Sopa here, ladies and gentlemen. On the reversal, on the takedown, hit him with the reverse, 2-point stance. I mean, that's why I said Ricky's got a significant strike advantage, and I think he could really do a lot of damage to him. I don't know how healthy Sopa is, but let's just do the old reversal there for shits and giggles and move on to the bantamweight division, dude. Rina Nakamura versus Muan Guroff. 9-0 versus 18-6. Both gentlemen coming off a win in the bantamweight division. Is this going to be a bantamweight fight? They got him listed at 145, but I mean, this is a Nakamura spot all day. Gafurov, he has lost some fights in his career, and Nakamura hasn't. I mean, you can definitely see Gafurov coming in here strong. He's got some KO potential to do to Nakamura, but can Nakamura just have the technical ability, the speed, the precision, the volume to just outmaneuver Gafurov? And I think he does. I think that's kind of the win condition here. I think Gafurov can do some wild stuff in there, but he's also been very susceptible to losing. Losses to Chad Ellinger and John Castaneda definitely doesn't make me ooze with confidence going into this matchup. So that being said, I got Nakamura here. He's a big, heavy favorite as well, and I just think that's just a ripe success. Now, for a minute, I thought this card, for I don't know what reason, I was thinking this card was in Abu Dhabi, but one thing that has, maybe not last week, but in one time in some of these main cards, there can be a heavy favorites run, and especially if there's a run of heavy favorites, and that's where I'm not saying it's a trend in the same, but it does happen from time to time, and that's where I'm kind of leaning here. I kind of like some of these favorites early on. Besides Sopa, we went on the reversal, but I think the reversal for the Sopa was because I was fanboying over Ricky's victory speech from years. So let's just live in the moment. Living in the moment is taking Nakamura here. I think he could be live for a finish as well. Homie's been finished before. Maybe a lot of damage into a takedown and arm triangle, something like that. got finished by guillotine. So, if one guy gets finished by a guillotine, I feel like they're always susceptible to get finished by a guillotine. I like Nakamura here, and we're going to move on to the ladies' bantamweight division. The ladies squaring up are Carol Hossa, 18-6, versus Elaine Perez, 11-2. Both ladies coming off a win, 5'5", 66. A little bit of a reach advantage for Hossa here. And man, this is a really good matchup. I really like Elaine Perez here. I don't understand how this isn't more of a balanced matchup. My thing with Hossa is she's just taken a lot of damage, and she hasn't been spectacular recently. You know what I mean? She beat Pini Kinzad, but she's not that to the high level. Losing to Aldana, losing to Dumont, those are high level fighters in the division, and I think Perez is in that high level. I mean, I think both of those ladies are ranked, and if not ranked, they're very. I mean, Aldana fought for a belt, and Dumont's coming off the fight of her. She had the best fight of her career against Aldana, so I like Perez here in this spot. I really do. I think Perez is live. I believe she's a big underdog. Let me yeah, Perez plus 215 might be. That's why is first underdog pick of the week, and I think she absolutely starches Hossa. I think Hossa is her toughest level of competition, but that being said, I really just think she's a physical presence, is very athletic, and I just remember her last performance was very physically imposing on Zelenikova in the first round, wins over Jocelyn Pudilova, or just veteran UFC fighters, and so is Hossa. This will be her toughest test, but I'm going Elaine Perez here. I think she's younger, hungrier, and hasn't taken so much damage. Dude, that Aldana Hossa fight was one of those. Sometimes they get so vicious. I think Perez is dynamic enough to do the damage and even get a finish. It definitely could go to the scorecard. Usually the mantra is just send them to the scorecard in the women's division, but 9 finishes for six finishes and 11 fights for Perez is very impressive, and I can see another one happening because I think Hossa might be a little bit slow. She's a little bit behind in the striking, and it's just you know not on her A game. I think Perez is live dog here, and I really like her to even get a submission. Boom, lock it in, ladies and gentlemen. Moving to the last fight on the early prelims. Grant Lockett and Dawson versus Diego Ferreira. 22-2-1 coming off a win versus Diego Ferreira, 19-5. I mean, Grant Dawson ranked at the very tail end of the lightweight division, 30 years old. A couple rebound wins, but not big competition after losing to Bobby Green. That KO from Bobby Green, I think, sent him back mentally. He had to go back to the drawing board. And Ferrer kind of scares me a little bit like that. He's got nothing to lose, let it hang out, and yeah, I mean, thing is, when you get a third round finish against Mateus Rebecki in his last fight, that could happen at any second to Dawson too. I'm really worried. I'm definitely picking Dawson here because I can just see his level of skill being higher at this point in current time. Ferreira, has had some really good performances in his career, but he also has taken a few losses in his career as well. So let's see what happens here. I like Dawson. I'm a Dawson fan, and this one I'll fanboy a little bit. I'm not fanboying over Dawson. I just think he's a really solid fighter, and I just think he's got great wrestling, and that's his game plan. He's just to kind of wrestle his way up there and not have to fight one of the elite strikers. I don't know how elite of a striker Diego Ferreira is. He's got a little bit of a reach advantage. He's got some KO wins in his, past 2 performances, but he's lost to the guys that are ranked above him, Gamrot and Dariush. So should be a very spicy, and also Ferreira has fought everybody in his career. He's got great, So I think this is one of those things. It's that turning point where unless Dawson makes a mistake, and anything can happen in the fight game, right? You make a mistake, you get caught, you get put down, you get in a bad position. You could always be live to get KO'd, right? Like all it takes is one punch, in a bad position in the third round when you're tired and you're out. So that's always live for any of these fighters at all times, right? But I do like Dawson here. I think he'll just control the fight, and I think it will go to the scorecard. He could be live to get a finish too. I don't necessarily know how good. What I think I would like to see Dawson do is posture up and get a ground and pound finish, because I think that's actually how how it should go for him. But if he gets a submission finish, any finish here for Dawson is advisable. I really don't want to see him go to the scorecard, wrestling him and out. But that's where I think his advantage lies. So going with Dawson here. Lock it in, ladies and gentlemen. We got a rescheduled bout here. Zachary Reeves versus Azmat Bekov. Coming in on short notice, middleweight bout. Azmat Bekov is 18-3, 6 KO wins, 8 submissions, 4 decisions. On a nice run here, about 6 in a row. Again, what's his competition coming in short notice? Has never making his UFC debut. I think Zach Reese is pretty strong, man. I know he got slammed finish in his one fight by Cody Brundage, but other than that, he's looked really good. He looks super athletic. I'm picking Reese here. He could lose. I don't know what the odds are. I think he'll be a big heavy favorite as well. I'm just gonna pick Zach Reese here. Guy making his debut on short notice. If you take this loss, it would be a really bad look for him. But I think he looks really strong, dude. He came out and just absolutely fired off against Marquez, who's got a rubber chin, but he found it and finished him. And then he dominated Jose Medina in his last fight. He'll do something like that again. I expect him. It was like a minute fight. He got slammed trying to pull guard. I think he learned, and I don't think he'll ever pull guard like that in the UFC again. So I'm not going to hold that against him. I did against Marquez, and I ate that one. So I'm going Zach Reese here. I think it's a pretty fairly straightforward and great middle name, Patrick. But I don't know much about Bekov. Like I said, I just read his performances. I think he is a great step. Should be a great fun. Hopefully we see an absolute banger of a fight. I expect this one to be one of the fights of the night. I expect to see a nice finish here by one of the gentlemen. I don't know if this one will go to the scorecard. I think Zach is going to come out absolutely blazing. I think he's going to I think this guy could get on a roll, like a little bit of a Joe Pfeiffer roll, be very fan-friendly, got the cowboy aspect to him. I think he could really start making a name for himself. He's an exciting prospect that I actually probably didn't even break down in the video. So somebody that's fighting that I probably should have talked about a little bit more here, but I like Zach Reese here. Let's put him on the prospect watch. Let's put him on the win column this weekend, and let's call it there, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to move on to the big boys, and not the big boys we really want to be watching. They're going to be hugging like bears. Gelatin Almeida versus Sergey Spivak, 21-3 for Almeida, bulking up still, versus Spivak, 17-4, coming off a win, I think, against Ty Burra or something. Absolutely freaking sauce Tybura against Gelatin Almeida. I guess I'll go Almeida here. This is kind of a mirror matchup, so it's kind of like pick who you like a little bit better. Maybe Spivak will have... I don't know, man. I could see Spivak winning. It's kind of like a submission mirror match for these guys. I think Almeida could throw a little bit better hands than Spivak, and that's where, let's just say, that's where it goes to. I think he can maybe get a little bit better of him in the clinch and take a little bit more damage. He lost the blades because he just laid there and got hit in the side of the head. I don't know. Is Jolatin's going to be able to be there? I don't know. I kind of like Spivak here. This one's very back and forth to me. I think I'm just going to pick Almeida because I'd be sick if I just picked Spivak and he laid an egg again like he has a few times when I've watched him and picked him. I'm just going to go Almeida here and rock it. I could definitely see both of these guys winning the fight. I could see this fight ending by submission or going to the card. I don't really know. Again, these mirror matchups are very hard to say. I mean, Spivak, you think he's like a 39-year-old. He's only 29. So, I feel like he looks so much older. Almeida, 33. That last fight for Spivak, man, he really felt like he found a athletic advantage against his opponent, but I don't know if he really will have that against Almeida. Right? Burra's 40. I think that's where that kind of finish in there. I got Almeida here because I think Spivak is good against older, not as good guys, but I don't think he's nearly as good as against greater opponents. But that's to be determined. You can finish Almeida this week, blast him in the face, arm triangle. Is that what I meant to say? I don't know. Yeah, pretty much just lay on top of him. Could be. I like it. But I'm going Almeida here. I think Almeida is probably just going to be a little bit... I don't know, man. This one's tough. Let's just watch. Moving on. Big bantamweight prospect Peyton Talbot against Ryan Nodi. Barcelos 9-0 versus 18-5, and definitely length and reach advantage for Talbot here. I mean, how do you pick against Talbot here? Barcelos I really like he's got potential, but against the big guys he just hasn't looked good. Kyler Phillips and Umar and Victor Henry. I mean, he's not winning. He can come off a win. He's not winning here. Peyton Talbot, the last fight he had was like 20 seconds long. Is it going to be that long this time? I don't know, but got Peyton haircut Talbot, we'll call him. Barcelos got nice speed though, but I don't even think this one's close, dude. Like just the way Kyler Phillips fought Barcelos that last time, I can remember that fight. Phillips looked really good, and I think Talbot presents many of the same qualities, if any, if not better than Phillips. Talbot here all day. Let's just keep it short and sweet. We can move it on. We got some exciting fights here. We got another little rematch here in the replacement bout. The light heavyweight division. We got Bogdan Anthony Smith Guskov versus Billy Elikana. And boy, I really like Guskov here. He's a great prospect. Who was he coming in to replace? Was it John? No, it wasn't Johnny Walker. I think he beat Johnny. Yeah, he did. He's supposed to fight Johnny Walker, and Johnny took an injury, serious injury, apparently, in training. Dude, that's the end of Johnny Walker. He's getting hurt in training, bro. He can't fight against real killers. I think Guskov is another one. He's gonna put an exciting Guskov KO lock. I love that one. He lost to Uzdemir in his first fight, but if you watch some of this guy's highlights on the, he's nasty, bro. He'll find the damage late. He might not have the one hit KO power, but he's got the finishing power late in the round. He finds the chin and does the deed, bro. I like Guskov here. First round, second round KO. Think he's got a great chance to make a really big name for himself. He's a prospect. He took the loss to Uzdemir. Nothing against losing to Uzdemir. Looked good that night. I think he came in on short notice that fight too. And I think Billy coming in against Guskov with that training time, I think his confidence is at an all-time high here. Book it, Guskov. I don't know what these odds are. Those are probably for the last fight. I would say that's probably what they had for Johnny Walker, Guskov, but Guskov should be big favorite. Guskov KO. Let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. This should be an exciting bout. I'm excited to see what happens here. We got our boy Kevin Holland coming off a loss, broken rib to Uzdemir. Not Uzdemir, Roman Dolizdi against Rainier de Ridder, getting the win against Mearshart, the finish. And, I mean, I like de Ridder here. I just have no confidence in Holland. How can you go in there picking him? This is another – it's like one of the guys, like he hasn't been stepping up against the talented guys, Page, Madalena. You know, he's been beating some trash cans, Ponzinibbio, Chiesa, Olajszak. I mean, this has got to be a Kevin Holland spot, and I'm just not loving it. I got the Ridder here. I think he's ready to come in hungry, make a name for himself. But yeah, there's obviously levels to this game, and I want to see Kevin Holland perform as well as possible. I think we're all Kevin Holland fans at heart with the way that he's just been active over the years and the performances that he has put in. But I'm just a little bit worried. And that's usually the time that Kevin Holland comes out and performs his best, the Trailblazer. But I just don't think this competition is anything to fret against. Now, is he absolutely going to be able to put... I could see Kevin Holland being down and getting maybe even like a triangle finish late in the leg triangle or something, you know. I think he'll try and stand at the outside, but I just think he'll just be out-volumed and outdone at the end. I think he's been he's looked very frustrated, right? Losses, you know, the broken rib is a frustrating one. The fight with Michael Venom Page is a frustrating one. He did finish Mikel, that guy, but he had no heart, so that guy was basically a quitter. Rainier de Ridder is just absolutely a killer, I feel like, and I'm just afraid that he could maybe do the same finish that he just did in his last fight. We could see it again. We could see kick KO. I'm just worried about Kevin Holland's durability. I'm worried about his motivation. I'm worried it is a great step up in competition. He's got to bring his A game. He's coming off an injury in the octagon. That's when Kevin Holland performs his best. Hopefully, he's probably going to put the L on the record. That's what I kind of feel like is going to happen. I think what we're going to see is there's going to be levels to this game, but if I'm having to pick for my official record, I'm going to go with de Ridder. I I think De Ridder is the clear pick for the fight in terms of just the last 5 track record, motivation levels. I'm not saying Kevin Holland can't win this fight. No, I'm saying Kevin Holland won't win this fight. But if I had to pick somebody, I'm picking De Ridder. I think he's just gonna come in there and just win. Might be ugly, split decision. Kevin could be mad and then come back super fired up. Coming into some absolute banger matchups on the main card here, ladies and gentlemen. We got Benny B. Dariush versus Renato Moicano, 22-6, coming off a loss to Tsarukyan versus 20-5-1, coming off a win. I can't afford to lose. I mean, that's where I'm picking here, man. Moicano, he can't afford to lose, dude. I know somebody was saying that, like, they know he, like, I think it was Dan Hooker was saying that Moicano can't strike with Dariush, and I can kind of see that. Dariush has heavy hands, hits like absolute brick, is massive for 155. Is the weight cut, I think, is pretty tough for him. I like Moicano here. I don't know how you don't like Moicano. I just think there are levels to this, and I'm a Moicano fan. I am a Dariush fan. How you not a fan of both these guys? You hate that both of these guys got to fight each other, but it's a nice fight for both of these gentlemen. If Moicano gets another finish here, I think he's there, man. He needs the money. He's desperate. I think he's training at the absolute peak of his entire existence, while Dariush is coming off a couple pretty brutal losses, right? Lost to Tsarukyan, lost to Oliveira, first-round finishes. What's that like on the confidence level? They're about the same age. Not good for this division. I just think Moicano, what have you done for me lately versus what are you going for? How do you not like him? I like Moicano, bro. I just think the training that he's getting is probably a little bit better. He's probably got a game plan of preparation. Just because your teammate says you're striking good doesn't mean you have the confidence to implement it in the octagon. I like Moicano here, and I think it's pretty substantial, the win. I think he'll probably get a finish, and I'm hoping it's a performance of the night, but I mean, dude, if he didn't get one against destroying BSD, I'm not doubting Moicano again unless he's fighting one of the top guys. So I don't think Dariush is a top guy. If he was a top guy, he would have had a better performance against the other guys in the top 5 right now, and I think Renato Moicano can challenge anybody. I can't wait to talk about the main event. I think Moicano versus Tsarukyan after that would be an absolute banger if Tsarukyan doesn't get the belt. Right? This should be an interesting matchup because I'm worried about Tsarukyan. I'll talk about that in the next couple fights. But the lightweight division, the title's on the line. These are 2 high-level prospects, and I think Moicano is going to state that I think he could beat Chandler. I think he's pretty much one of the best lightweights in the world. I think, like, again, if you put Poirier on the outside, I would love to see him versus Gaethje. Gaethje Moicano after the win would be insane. I would love to see how that one plays out. I like Moicano here. I don't know how many people wouldn't be on the Moicano train here. Let's go see what's the pick percentage on some of these. This one's probably, he's heavy, 80%, 50-50 for Ritter, 96 Gukov, Talbot, Almeida is a big, a lot of big favorites on this card, and I'm not too surprised, but I like Moicano here. And then I think the next fight should be pretty interesting here. I think it will probably get a finish. I just don't think Dariush has a chin. Takes some damage, gets down, gets in a bad spot, gets tapped out. I think he'll give it his A game. I hope we don't see him drop the gloves if he gets finished. But let's move on, ladies and gentlemen. Light heavyweight bout. I think we're all excited for. We got Yuri Prohashka versus Jamal Sweet Dreams Hill here. And if you guys are surprised, I'm picking Jamal Hill here. I think this is a great Jamal Hill spot. I think it's a good buy low spot on Jamal Hill. I think Yuri lost KO Poatan, win against Rakic, KO Poatan. I know he's got a total reset, right? Hill got KO'd, but he got caught. He was rusty. He was coming off an Achilles tear. No warm-up fights. He fought Glover. He fought Glover in Brazil in January 23, and then he came back and fought Poatan. Not a clean. I'm gonna give Hill. I think Hill is clean. I think Hill will come in polished. I think he'll come in hungry. I think he'll come in with heavy hands, and I don't trust Yuri's chin. I absolutely do not trust Yuri's chin. I got Jamal Hill here. I don't even think it's that close. I think there's a lot of doubters out there, a lot of people clowning Jamal Hill right now, and I think he's going to earn some damn respect back on his name. I think he's going to do that with his performance. I really, really hope there's no way I'm picking Yuri Prohaska over Jamal Hill here. Yuri's going to have to put that L on my record with something spectacular because I just don't think he's as clean as Jamal Hill. I'm not saying I know everybody is going to clown everybody who picks Jamal Hill for what he's been saying on the internet, right? But I think he legitimately has he's easily a top 5 if not a top 3 light heavyweight in the world. And that's Alex Poatan. I don't know what I'm saying right now. Got Yuri and Pereira mixed up. Poatan, Ankalaev, Jamal Hill. Right now, we're gonna see he's gonna separate himself. He'll have another matchup against. I think Olberg is really good too. There's some other really, really good light heavyweights, but I just think Jamal Hill is very technically great at stand-up boxing. He's big. He moves. I like Jamal Hill here. I think he gets a big time dub for himself, for the haters. He gets a big time call out. He's going to make himself look like a fool. He's not going to raise his stock any by what he talks afterwards. I wish he'd take a little bit of a humble pie there, but I think he's going to look really good against Yuri Prohaska. Just doesn't always look the best. Let's go, baby. Wow, let's go. Main event, co-main event here. Merab Dvalishvili bantamweight title fight against Umar Nurmagomedov, 18-4, coming off a win. The insane streak versus Umar, 18 straight wins, insane streak on the line, generational matchup, baby. Woo! The champ Merab claiming it over O'Malley on UFC Noche. Dramatic performance. Umar coming in over the performance over Corey Sandhagen on the scorecards, unanimous decision. 5-minute rounds for the bantamweight title. I don't know how you don't like Umar to take it home, ladies and gentlemen. I love Merab. I am the biggest Merab fan. I really want him to win, but I won't pick him if I think he'll lose in a way that, I just think that Umar can win. Even if, I think Merab wins and Merab look like he wins, if the judges will say that Umar wins, the judges are going to say Umar wins. That's what I'm picking. I think that's pretty substantial. Merab is 34, a little bit long in the tooth. He just, took him a while to get here. He's just been on the run. I think he could be. I saw Merab's leg wrap, potential staph infection. But I won't doubt the motor, and I'm not saying I'm rooting for Merab, but I'm picking Umar. I just think Umar is just going to get it done. I think he's the worst matchup for Merab. I don't know if Merab's got the championship medal right now. I think he's got the Conqueror's medal, but I don't know if he's got the championship medal that the camp of AKA has. Over there with everybody. Islam, Habib, DC, they got the championship medal, and I think they're staying cool, calm, collective. 3rd, 4th, and 5th round, Umar is going to shine like he did there, and if the judges' scorecard in the Sandhagen fight is any indication on how the judges view Umar's game, I'm picking Umar. I'm not doubting this guy, bro. How can you? Please, somebody, anybody, tell me how you're going to pick Merab. Seriously. I don't know. Merab's going to have to get it done. He's going to have to look incredible. He's going to have to absolutely dominate. Merab, it's Merab the Dominator is the only way, the Machine Dominator is the only way to Umar. I just don't, I mean, he's going to have to Jose Aldo. He's going to have to Piotr Yannis. He's going to have to absolutely just run through Umar, and I just don't see that happening, man. I just don't see that happening. I don't know, man. Can he win certain points of the fight? Absolutely. And will I think that wins him the round? Personally, as a fan, yes. But will the judges see it like that? I don't think so. And will it be very close? I think so. And if it's not close, who's more likely to dominate? Umar. Who's more likely to win it close? Umar. Who has to dominate? Merab. If it's close, you just have to pick Umar here. And He went 5 rounds with Corey, and they gave him one judge gave him 50-45. It was 49-46, 48-47, definitely 48-47. He won the last 3 rounds, absolutely dominated Sandhagen once he started making the adjustments. Will that happen here? Let's go Umar, baby. Umar and New to start, baby. And then the moment you've all been waiting for, the main event of the evening is Makhachev versus Arman Tsarukyan. Wow, what a match. Actually, 2. The rematch from Tsarukyan's debut. Islam 26-1 on an all-time run. 13, 14 straight wins. I think he has another one. So this is where I want to talk about Arman Tsarukyan, 28 years old, 22-3 record. Only lost to Gamrot on the fight night. Couple big finishes in a row. He didn't finish Oliveira, but he wins. So I'm going to start and saying that not going 5 rounds doesn't mean shit if you finish the guy in the first 2-3 rounds, right? But that is my big worry is Tsarukyan did not go 5 rounds with Oliveira. If he won Oliveira in a 5 round, I'd have a lot more confidence in Tsarukyan. But the fact is, Islam has levels, and boy, I am not picking against Islam Makhachev on an all-time run. I mean, can Tsarukyan put him out late, Leon Edwards style? I think that's what's going to happen. It's going to have to happen early. It's going to have to happen late. But Tsarukyan by KO is the only way that I see this absolutely going. Now, can Tsarukyan, I think this to me has kind of like those major matchup prospect upsets like Tsarukyan, Islam, Prohashka, or not Pereira, Adesanya. And who's the other one I was just thinking about? I mean, you know what I mean? Just the big upset KOs that happen late to give them the belt, the prospect. God, I had another one in my mind, but I completely forgot. I think that's how Tsarukyan has to win. He has to knock out Makhachev somehow, some way. Straight right fist to hammer fist. That's the only way Islam's ever lost in the UFC. That was 9 years ago. The man's won 13 straight fights, 14 straight fights. I just think his experience in 5 rounds, his absolute level of doing this day in and day out versus Arman not really ever achieving it. I just think it's a Makhachev spot all day. I just think he's literally probably pound for pound one of the best fighters. I think he's been in tougher competition. He's had tougher matchups, and he's come out victorious about all of them in the lightweight division versus even comparing a career with Khabib. But I just think he is so strong. He is so good, bro. He's so good. And so is Arman, but I can see Arman winning a round. I can see Arman losing the fight. And Arman, what are you going to do in that 5th round, bro? Are you going to be able to knock him out? We haven't seen him there. We've never seen an Arman in the 5th round in deep waters, right? We've seen him in a bunch of 3-rounders. What are we going to get there? And like I said, it doesn't matter if he puts his lights out early. Absolutely, I think he can put his lights out. If you don't think Arman Tsarukyan can put Makhachev lights out, that's the one thing I will say is while Makhachev has always raised his level to the competition, he is taking an incredible amount of damage from some of his opponents, or at least recently. Volkanovski won, and Poirier 5-rounder were litmus tests for career benchmarkers, and he rose to those occasions. He's 4 rounds against Moises, 3 rounds against Dober, lots of unanimous decisions, lots of freaking, we've been there, we've done that. Tsarukyan's going to, I think, have to have something spectacular. 5th round finish for Tsarukyan, I think, is something that is very plausible. I think he could also win very early as well. 12-0, 12. So he's on a 14 fight winning streak. 15 to tie, right? 16 for the record. 2 more wins for Makhachev. I think he can do it. Bro. I think this is one for him. Dude, look at those eyes, man. Tsarukyan, an absolute freaking stud. Wow, what a matchup. We'll do a quick little recap of the picks. I like Makhachev. I think we get an end new and an end still. Double great day for Khabib and AKA training. And this is just, there's levels to this game, man. They are at the highest level with what they bring to the table. And, maybe what Bobby Green has to say is a little bit true if you go look at some baby pictures. That's not me to confirm nor deny here or there, but that's where I'll lean. I'm picking my champions in this day and age. Let's go Islam Makhachev and Umar. We'll go backwards this day. Jamal Hill, Moicano, Rainier DeRitter, Guskov, Peyton Talbot, Jolton Almeida, Zachary's, Grant Dawes, Elaine Perez, Ryan Nakamura, Bernardo Sopa on the reversal, and Ulam Nurembekov. Like, comment, subscribe, pick your picks. 100% picks in the comments gets $100 I'll send to you. Thank you so much for paying attention to the videos, making it this far. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me who you think is going to win. Thank you so much. Take care of your health, your family, your friends. Peace and love, everybody.